You know guys, before I start today's video, I just want to apologize for the inconsistent upload schedule recently. As a lot of you guys know, I am a student in college and I just took my last final yesterday, which is extremely late, but now I am officially on summer vacation, so I'm gonna have a lot more time for uploading and creating content and doing other fun things on the channel, so stay tuned for all of that. But there is some news I gotta catch up on, and just like every single time this specific topic comes up, the same reminder needs to be told to these gooch lickers who don't understand common sense, who don't understand statistics, who don't understand trends, who have never taken a goddamn math class, probably not taking any public education classes. It's okay to have a low IQ, but when people teach you, that is the time to shut up and listen. It's not the time to defend Activision and put Bobby Cosby's scrotum on your tongue. And before people say, "Oh, you know what? I can't stand your foul language." Shut the fuck up, Tubby. It is no secret that Call of Duty is dying. It's on the decline no matter what you say, no matter which content creator is saying what, no matter which paid bundle you're buying, no matter what the metrics are around microtransactions, which we'll also talk about very soon. Call of Duty is always on the decline, and that's the same for every single Call of Duty of all time, okay? But in this specific case, for these last 4 Call of Duties, it is worse to have a decline in these CODs as opposed to the older CODs because more people are playing than fucking ever. These games are way more optimized. And 3, you want to start doing this whole seasonal content, and by definition, if you're doing anything seasonally, then you should have a resurgence in your player base, not a decline every single couple of weeks. Now guys, this comes out from Charlie Intel. He says, May mark the lowest month numbers of players playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 Part 2 and Warzone 2 on Steam since the game's launch. While Steam represents the smallest size of the player base, Activision continues to lose PC players over lack of actual gameplay changes. And this is what he shows. As you can see, the most recent numbers are 69,000 at this point in time, and the 24-hour peak at this time was 81,000. Of course, these numbers are different now because this news came out a couple of days ago. But as we've been able to see every single time we talk about the declination in Call of Duty, the only numbers we can see are on Steam. And every single time we check Steam, the numbers are dropping by like 10 to 15, sometimes even 20,000 every week, every month. And I do not care how much of Joe Seacott's balls you got dangling above your forehead. That is a bad sign for Call of Duty. If you're doing seasonal content, this should not be happening. This should be happening to games that launch in like January and don't do anything with their game, so now by June, there's a decline. That makes sense. For games as big as Call of Duty, for a franchise that is this successful, for all of these AAA titles with seasonal content, this should not be happening. And it speaks volumes that even gooch-licking content creators and platforms like Charlie Intel even need to tweet this out, because usually this is coming out from people who are talking shit, especially when he needs to explain that even though Steam's numbers are the lowest numbers in the population, it still shows a decline. It still shows a trend. And for those of you gooch lickers that do not understand how trends work, first of all, take a stats class. Ask a professional, ask an adult, ask somebody with common goddamn sense. If you don't understand how trends work, do not talk. Your opinion is monkey shit. You see, it's times like this where the scat master needs to become the scat maestro and teach some of you dumb gooch lickers what an average IQ is in comparison to a low IQ like yours. Picture this from the scat master's perspective. I am a content creator. I can see my metrics, I can see my analytics on everything. If my lowest amount of viewers comes out of fucking Egypt and I don't upload for a month straight, no content comes out from this channel for over a month, and I check my analytics, my statistics on fucking Egypt, and it says my viewers from Egypt have dropped by 30%. That is not a good thing. And even though that is my lowest population, do you actually think those numbers are still gonna be as high as they are in the goddamn US, where the population is the greatest for my channel, or in the UK, or in Canada? No, even though Egypt is my lowest populated viewers, if there is a massive drop there, overall, worldwide, there is a drop in viewer percentage for my channel. If I don't do shit for a month, And do you know what that's called? That is called a trend, a slope, a drop. It has a bunch of different names. I don't care what you call it. Go take a stats class and learn about it. I don't care if PlayStation has the highest population, okay? You want to talk about percentages and population? Scadmaster's the top 3% in Modern Warfare 2019 Part 2, you fat bitch. But guys, there are bigger issues here than just the decline in COD, because this is a given. At this point, we know the quality of these games. Ever since MW 2019, there has not been a relatively decent Call of Duty. Yes, that includes Cold War, and yes, if you're wondering, you still cannot play Cold War, so it doesn't even matter what you think of the goddamn game. You can't play it. But Charlie Intel did tweet this out, and this is another problem that I have talked about here on the channel several times, because no matter what the decline is in Call of Duty, no matter how much the numbers drop in population, there is always one thing that keeps this stupid franchise afloat. And not only is it gooch lickers, but it's what the gooch lickers do in game. Not only do they have a 0.2% accuracy rate, a 0.2 KD because they suck, they are actually giving Activision the most amount of money in comparison to literally everybody else. Charlie Intel also tweets this out. He says, "The problem with Call of Duty is that while a lot of us are upset with the state of the game, the microtransaction sales continue to perform at a very high pace, which leads the developers to make fewer changes. Black Cell apparently has sold very well for Season 3. You guys know that I talked about Black Cell. I had to call out a lot of people about Black Cell. I had to call out Prestige's Key because he bought it and even made a video saying there was no issue with buying it. I don't know what he's on. He's tripping horse titties. I had to call out Charlie Intel because he kept promoting it and didn't talk about the downside of buying something like Black Cell when he had the chance, and then he was surprised that people were buying Black Cell. I also had to call out Doug Dimmadome Warzone, not for anything specific, but that's just what I usually do on the channel. I mean, look what this guy tweeted out yesterday. He said the shirt for today, and it's the Vanguard shirt that says, "Thanks for dropping in Verdansk." What the fuck is he on? Look guys, Season 4 is just around the corner, and Season 3 had Black Cell. I don't know if Season 4 is gonna have anything like that, but if it does, please understand these words. Do not purchase it. It is not good for the Call of Duty community. It is more detrimental than it is beneficial. Even for regular microtransactions out there, like just your average bundle. In my last video, we talked about the NickMercs bundle. We know Activision's moves with these. It doesn't matter what these content creators say. I'm hoping everybody can just simply see through this shit. I mean, Charlie Intel even said it himself. High microtransaction sales equals less changes, because in Activision's eyes, they simply don't need to make any changes whatsoever. It looks like people are content with the game. They're not looking at the population, they're not looking at the player count, they're looking at the microtransaction revenue. And let me just tell you right now, they wouldn't give a flying fuck if 1,000 of us stopped playing Call of Duty right now today. What they do care about is that one gooch licker that will make up all of that lost money from those 1,000 players simply by buying bundles. You see guys, I'm gonna continue making these videos until there is no stupidity left in the community, and if you know anything about the COD community in specific, compared to the other communities, we gotta have the lowest average IQ because there's so many gooch lickers that bring the goddamn number down. And with every time that this happens in the Call of Duty community, and trust me, it happens every single season because seasonal content cannot keep this game afloat because it doesn't work in this game because the developers fucking suck at their jobs, they're talentless, and the game's just not interesting to begin with. I am here to tell you guys that this is the perfect opportunity to not engage with anything in the game in Call of Duty. Don't buy any bundles, don't buy the next battle pass that comes out for Season 4 because you know they're gonna try everything to monetize it for $30 goddamn dollars. I don't care if they do a crossover with fucking Aunt Jemima, don't buy it. But we know Call of Duty, guys. We know the landscape. We know that gooch lickers are gonna buy this thing regardless. We know that gooch lickers are gonna give up their ass and their money for Activision. And when these other content creators start coming up and start talking about, oh, I bought the new Black Cell Battle Pass for Season 4 and there's nothing wrong with it, or they start showcasing it, oh my god, look, this is the same skin you get in the regular Battle Pass except there's one line of gold in it. You guys don't understand the absurdities I saw when the Black Cell Battle Pass came out, guys. How many people were talking about, oh, you know, I got it for the operators. The operators are the exact same except with a different color palette. And these content creators that are buying it to showcase it and get their money back, those guys are just scumbags. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And aside from these gooch licking content creators, just look at the publishers, look at Activision. We've seen all of the crap that they've done recently, and I've talked about this too, but they took down SM2, they took down XLABS, they're not supporting their older titles, and they're still selling it for over $60. And even away from old titles, let's talk about a recent title, Cold War. You still probably shouldn't play. Activision still has not addressed the issue with Cold War, and they're still charging full price for it. And that is not an old Call of Duty. Somebody truly answer this for me. Why do you actually support this? But just to tie this back around, guys, when your favorite content creator starts talking about buying the new battle pass because there's so many epic items in it, call them out too. I mean, like, I have no trouble telling Prestigious Key or Charlie Intel that they're fucking stupid for not promoting against buying Black Cell when they know exactly how detrimental it is to Call of Duty as a whole. And if you see your favorite content creator talking about it or buying it or not talking against it while buying it, please call them out. I think they truly deserve it. And just because I really want to say this one last time, if you don't think there is a decline in Call of Duty because Steam is the lowest population, take a fucking stats class, please. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. What are your opinions on people who still buy microtransactions and keep the game afloat despite the decline in the population? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah, guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles. It's been a